Hello again. I'm Ray Talabas. This is, I guess, going to be my fifth cigar review, um, video review. Um, it's uh, it's pretty hot summer day. It's Friday. Happy weekend for everybody. I think this is gonna be the last weekend in June 2018 in Baltimore. Hot day, very humid as usual. Typical Baltimore summer day, shooting in the afternoon. Um, yeah, probably around 90 degrees outside. Got the fan blowing in the patio, in the enclosed patio. This review is going to be on one of my personal favorites. I was going to smoke, I was going to review another personal favorite. These two cigars are kind of like, to me, kind of linked. They're two cigars that I hold dearly to my heart. I was going to review the Romeo and Juliet Reserve Royale Churchill, and I wasn't sure I wanted to smoke something quite that long for this review, so I chose another one of my favorites, the Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure. It's the General cigar version, not the Cuban. Um, it's the Epicure, so in other words, like a Rothschild. It's a Robusto size. Robusto size. I want to say about 5 by 50. So classic Robusto dimensions. Love the cigar. I mean, the first time I smoked it when I was a lot younger, maybe like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I knew I liked the cigar. The first time I smoked it, I mean, it happens to a lot of times. When you try something new, or you're new to cigars or whatever, you try something new, you try it, and you like it. For some reason that experience kind of like makes an impression on you, and it stays with you. And that's what happened with me in this Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure, Excalibur Epicure, and it's a Honduran smoke. Um, I don't know if it's a Honduran Puro. I'm not really sure. But I do know most of the tobacco components are from Honduras. Um, if you followed any of my other reviews, I usually pair my cigars with beverages. Today's alcoholic beverage, I'm sure you're all wondering, get to the point, right? I'm going to try a wine today. This is one of my favorite wines. My favorite wine varietal is Shiraz from Australia, Australian Shiraz. Just so spicy and red delicious fruit. It's just a delicious wine, type of wine. The wine that I'll be drinking today is Penfolds, which is a pretty well-known wine company. Koonuga Hill Shiraz from Australia, 2014. Um, anyway, gonna go ahead and pour it in my. This is like my favorite glass of all time. I picked this up at a liquor store. It's a Samuel Smith um, beer uh, glass or whatever. It's a pint glass, so it's awesome. Pint glasses are huge, and you can put a lot of liquid in them and stuff. And um, so yeah, the glass came in a box with like two Samuel Smith beers. I think one was a nut brown ale, which is delicious. And I forgot what the other one was, but I love Samuel Smith beer. It's an English beer, but no, I enjoy. Um, Gotta pour enough for the review, right? Not for me. Wow, spice. I mean, as you can tell, I mean, if you've seen it in a previous reviews, I love spice, and the spice can be in wine, can be in tobacco. Obviously, spice in food. Wonderful wine, very very fruit forward. Very like got berries and there's got tannins in it. It's a very elegant wine. Shoot, I could just do a review on this wine, right? No, you didn't come for that, but this review kind of is like mostly about the cigars. The second beverage that I'm drinking is water. need to hydrate in this hot weather. I don't know if any of you have seen any of my other reviews, but you know, it could be mistaken for being garrulous, which means talkative. But I don't know. I just kind of do things and say things, and most of them I believe in. You know, try to keep things a little mysterious sometimes because you don't want to have people thinking like oh, they know you so well that they know you better than you or whatever, and that's never the case. But sometimes you got to keep it mysterious, I guess. I forgot my little ashtray. I'm gonna have to go get it. Just hold on a second. So here I am in the patio, enclosed patio outdoors, fan blowing. Smoke a little bit of the cigarette. I usually smoke a cigarette before I smoke a cigar. Kind of energizes me to smoke a cigar or whatever. But like I said, the star of the show is the Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure, Hoyo de Monterrey Excalibur Epicure, and it's kind of got like almost like a Connecticut. It's got like almost a Connecticut kind of like blonde color. I want to say Connecticut, maybe a little bit darker than Connecticut, not a traditional Connecticut, like say from a if you've ever seen like a Ashton cabinet. Some Davidoffs are pretty pale. I love Davidoffs and I have both of those cigars actually, but multiple of them. But I love those cigars. But so I would say this is more of a Connecticut kind of like slash light tobacco color leaf on this tobacco on the cigar. What I remember of the cigar is kind of like it's sort of grassy. I mean, some people don't like grass or whatever, but I'm not talking about like the stuff that comes from like freaking Jamaica or whatever. But I'm talking. I mean, most people like grass, that kind of grass, but politically correct, right? Stay politically correct. Yeah. Hey. No. Grassy. Can be if you can appreciate it, then you might like it or whatever. But this cigar this Hoy de Monterey Excalibur Epicure, it kind of has like a calming effect on me. Like every time I smoke this cigar, I feel good about myself. And who doesn't like that, right? I mean, like, I don't know. Some cigars have that ability to kind of like mellow you out and you become contemplative and stuff like that. And here we are at 8 minutes. But let me go ahead and have a couple more of these puffs of this cigarette. Get on with this review. I know I said my last review, which was on the the Gloria Cubana CR, that I might be taking a little bit of a break from making reviews, but I don't know. I think I saw something about like wine or whatever. Maybe it was in a magazine I was reading, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm in the mood to like drink some wine and smoke a cigar, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do that, I may as well write another review. I mean, I may as well shoot another review. So here we are with the Penfolds Koonuga Hill 2014 Shiraz, Australian Shiraz. I love Australian Shiraz. And the Hoyo de Monterey Excalibur Epicure, which is a Robusto size. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And, you know, I mean, there is an art to like all this pre-cigar kind of like, there's like rituals to like cutting a cigar and toasting a cigar and lighting a cigar. And it's all part of the cigar culture. I mean, I know you all know that already, unless you're like kind of like stumbling in on this and you're not really into cigars yet or just kind of new to cigars. But there's a ritual. It's sort of like a pre-ritual to like smoking a cigar. Everyone has their own ways of doing things. I don't taste anything. I mean, sometimes you taste something, sometimes you don't. Let me turn this fan off, man, because like, well, maybe I can. These things, these torch lighters are supposed to be wind resistant. That fan's blowing pretty hard, but you know, I mean, I've seen it where it's sort of wind resistant, but I wouldn't say it's 100% wind resistant for a lot of these torches. But here we go. Going ahead and uh, toast this thing. Hopefully, I have enough fuel in this lighter. Um, that worked out pretty well. And I'm gonna go ahead and toast the edge of the foot. I know most people don't do this or nobody does this, but I like to toast the edge of the foot. Um, Kind of ensure like kind of help out the straight burn line or whatever. I mean, I'm like every cigar smoker who's kind of like veteran who can appreciate a straight burn line. I'm not gonna lie about that, but like I said, I really don't care if a cigar starts to get wavy. You have to touch it up because it's an artisanal handmade product, and I mean, people aren't perfect. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's indicative of the quality. I mean, too much of an indicator of a quality cigar. Like I said, I appreciate a straight burn line from beginning to end, but I don't really care if I have to touch it up. It doesn't hurt me. It takes a couple seconds, and I don't know. But be that as it may. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm loving my cigars lately, man. That was delicious, man. I mean, that was like straight tobacco flavor. A lighter tobacco flavor than say like the last review that I made was on the La Gloria Cigar. That had like a darker tobacco flavor, but this is more of like a kind of almost like a vanilla with a darker tobacco core. Very rich, and I'm getting some grassy notes now, and I like that. I mean, for some weird reason, like I said before, this cigar, kind of calms me down. Mm. Yeah, I love this wine. I love this wine. Penfolds Koonuga Hill Australian Shiraz. Look it up, man. If you like a wine that's a little spicy, very fruity, has some nice tannins, look it up. Penfolds Koonuga Hill Australian Shiraz. It makes a fine pairing to this cigar. This cigar is blowing me away right now. I don't know if this cigar is trying to show off in front of the people or whatever, because I mean I can't believe how good this cigar is, man. I know if you've seen my other reviews, I like gush over all my cigars, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's like, I mean, you got to tell the truth, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you and say this cigar is like just okay if it's like blowing my mind. Um, I mean, if you haven't seen any of my other reviews, all my cigars come from my personal stock of cigars in about 13 humidors. Um, and I bought them because I love them. You know what I mean? I love the cigars. Therefore, I bought boxes or I bought multiples. And, I'm just smoking cigars I like because I bought them because I like them. I know it's circular. I said that before in a previous review. But, oh, wow. This is a very complex cigar. I'm getting like cedar, I'm getting grass, I'm getting tobacco, and if they're all playing well together, it's sort of like a music. You know what I mean? First you get like the cedar burst, and then you get like the grassy burst, and then you get the tobacco burst right in the middle. That kind of like It's like a knockout punch, really. Um, it's in perfect harmony right now. It's like a very impressive cigar. I mean, there's a reason why, I mean, most of the time, I mean, because like I have a lot of favorite cigars, you know what I mean? But I mean, this to tell you the truth, this is way up there on my list. I mean, a lot of times I say like, I have top three cigars, and this Hoyo de Monterrey is like always to me is always in the top three or four. Um, like my top cigar is Opus. I don't know, call me a fanboy or whatever, but I know what I know, and I like what I like. I love cedar. I love I love leather, tobacco, spice, tobacco flavor, tobacco whatever, um, and that's what I like. And cedar has that. I mean, and Opus has that in spades. Romeo and Juliet is way up there for me. This really is a Hoy de Monterey Epicure, Excalibur Epicure from General. This is not a Cuban one. I'm thankful. I don't really care about the Cuban one. I'm sure it's a great cigar. I mean, okay, the world-renowned, Hoy de Monterey double Coronas and Epicures or whatever. I know they're world-renowned. I've never had one. Um, I don't really care, man. This Honduran Hoyo is just fine for me. I mean, I would love to have Cuban cigars, but you know, I mean, it's not right now politically available to us. I mean, the politics of the Cuban embargo. I don't know. I mean, President Obama was kind of making headways against that, trying to normalize relationships with Cuba, but I don't know where it stands now. I think it's going backwards. Yeah, I'm not going to step into that doo doo. I mean, I'm not about to get into political politics, man, because you know what they say: politics and religion aren't spoken in polite company. Too many strong emotions with those kind of things. I live in Maryland, so you can imagine what kind of political leanings I lead to. I'm in pretty liberal over here, pretty democratic, pretty much democratic state. But like I said, I'm not going to get political. I mean, President Trump is our president, and I believe that since he was elected president, it's my duty to support him the best I can. So there it is. Cool. I love this cigar, man. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm talking about like personal taste and preferences. I mean, this is very grassy right now, and some people might find that as like, wow, that tastes like crap. But I mean, it's personal taste. I'm gonna admit that. I'm gonna say that you know, I love the cigar because I love the taste. But you might have different appreciation for different flavors and or whatever. So go in with, especially with this cigar, go in with a grain of salt as to don't go ahead and buy multiples if you haven't smoked a cigar before. That's my recommendation. Um, but as far if you like grassy, I mean, I like grassy. I mean, people put it down and everything, but I mean, it's an interesting flavor to me. It's kind of savory and it's kind of like vegetal and this like I said, the cigar is very calming. Very delicious. Kind of grassy. The tobacco is kind of like taking a back seat. The cedar is kind of taking a back seat. There's a little bit of charcoal in there. It's kind of like making it interesting with the grassiness. It's getting lighter in body right now. I mean, to tell you honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I prefer um, the earlier portion of the cigar. I mean, it's still in the first third, where it was more rich tobacco flavor and more complex. But I'm not gonna lie to you. The cigar is taking a different kind of like transition now, and this is what I remember a Hoy de Monterey Epicure to taste like. So I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. I like the first part better because I don't remember that being specifically Hoyo de Monterrey flavor. And it was very rich tobacco and complex. And right now, it's hitting that Hoyo de Monterrey that I remember and I love. So I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, this is what I originally loved it for. Ooh. I don't know. It's just a beautiful cigar, man. I mean, it's not the typical kind of flavors you find in a regular. I mean, most kind of like Connecticut or whatever, or light natural. I mean, I think it's a taste specific to the Hoyo de Monterey Epicure, Excalibur Epicure. Well, I mean, I keep saying it's beautiful and things like that, but you're probably like, what's that supposed to mean? The draw on that was really deep. The very, very full draw on that. Um, so there we are in the first third. Um, like I said, there's been a lot of transitions so far already in the first third. Not even fully finished the first third, but we're getting along in time here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to tell you what I've smoked so far. The beginning was like just very complex, like different flavors hitting you, and it's a very strong tobacco finish. Very complex, and it segged into kind of grassy and charcoal, and then it segged into like a traditional Hoyo de Monterey Epicure flavor profile that I adore, and why that's why I love this cigar. Which is a little bit more grassy and charcoal, um, and kind of got a really mellow flavor, kind of light flavor. And now it's getting a lot deeper and a lot. Then transitioned into a more full-bodied, kind of like grassy tobacco mix now, with a little bit of charcoal mixed in there. I mean, trying to describe tobacco flavor, I mean, we're only people, and some of these things, it's an analog kind of endeavor to describe what tobacco smoke tastes like. It's not digital. You can't be like it tastes like this, that, and the other thing in integers or whatever, like leather, spice. I mean, you can try to approximate what it tastes like, but sometimes you take a drag on a cigar and it's like so hard to describe what you're tasting, but you love it, and I guess that's how it is right now. Anyway, we're getting in there. Gonna have a little bit. This is to you guys out there watching. Good health. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and ooh, beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and smoke this down a little bit. Maybe smoke a cigarette, have a little bit more wine. Pause it a little bit, and go ahead, go. I guess you can just. I'll be back in a second. Hey guys, back again. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Anyway, been drinking some more wine. Um, mm, really good. I really don't pair wine with cigars that often. I mean, I've done it a few times. I mean, I pair wine with beer or most often whiskey or rum or a mixed drink like a daiquiri or a pina colada or mojito or whatever. I tend to be pretty heavy-handed when I make those mixed drinks though. I don't want to make you think that I'm like a girly man. I usually put in like, I mean, I'll make a blender full of like mixed drink and usually drink it all. I'll put in like, I want to say like 12, 14 ounces of like whatever. Sometimes I'll mix in like vodka or gin or tequila. Whether sometimes it's all of them, sometimes it's a couple of them, sometimes it's just like vodka or whatever. But I've been smoking this cigar off camera. We're about into the second third, not quite halfway. Man, I'm telling you, the body has really picked up on this cigar. I mean, it's got some age on it. I want to say this cigar is like 3 years old. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember Hoyos being this full bodied. Wow. I mean, it's a complex flavor. I mean, I'm just having a hard time kind of like, discerning like, the flavor. It's just like, it's like grass and like tobacco all mixed together. It's just in such a thick, heavy body that it kind of like just coats your mouth and you're like wondering what the hell am I smoking? It's like, I don't know. It's delicious though. It's wonderful. I mean, like I said, I don't miss Cuban Hoyos. This is good enough for me. I mean, you know, like I said before, I would love to see the embargo lifted. But I mean that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Full body, full body, a lot of spice to there. But this spice is kind of like charcoal spice. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like it kind of like cuts through the richness of like the cedar I'm tasting and the grass and the tobacco. That's all kind of like interspersed in like this gigantic cloud of heavy body smoke. So it's a delicious, complex, heavy body smoke. I mean, there's a reason why this cigar is in my top three, four cigars. I think the first one I thought was Opus was my favorite of all time. Hoyo is right there in the top three or four. I want to say Romeo and Juliet is around there, floating around there somewhere. And these are non-Cuban brands, by the way. I've only smoked like four Cubans or three or four Cubans, but whatever. I love these non-Cubans. I mean, you know, um, I'm not from Europe or whatever, where they have like Cubans whenever they want Cubans or whatever, and I don't know what kind of like snobbery goes on. I don't know if snobbery goes on at all, but I'm perfectly happy with non-Cuban cigars. Put it that way. I mean, if you ever smoked an Opus X, or you ever smoked a Forbidden X, or you ever smoked a Tactile Black Label, or a Davidoff, or Dunhill Heritage, or like or Coronado by La Flor Dominicana. You smoke La Flor Dominicana. You smoke Joya or Hoya Joya or Hoya de Nicaragua. You smoke Padron. You smoke like like St. Louis Ray. Aging Room. PDR. I mean, these cigars are just beautiful. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Tobacco is tobacco, man. I mean, like it seems to grow in like tropical countries very well. And just saying that only great cigars come from Cuba. I mean, most of the tobacco grown that is great is Cuban seed anyway, growing in like Caribbean countries just like Cuba. I mean, you're gonna get what you get. I mean, there's a sort of level playing field I think going on. I'm definitely not a cigar snob. I mean, I'm saying I would love to smoke Cubans, although they tend to be on the way more expensive side. Um, I don't know. I'm perfectly happy with what I'm smoking. I'm perfectly happy with this smoke. Um, yeah. So here we are on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Hope your weekend's going well. Kick it off with maybe like a cookout or whatever. Drink a libation. Um, have a nice relationship with your special other partner or whatever. Play with your dog or cat or whatever. I mean, it's the weekend. You know what I mean? I'm smoking a cigar, drinking some beautiful wine, I smoked a really good cigarette. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know this isn't the only component of life and everything, but when you do get these times to kind of relax and just enjoy life, I mean, it's pleasurable. You know, I'm telling you, this cigar is pleasurable. This is definitely in my top 3 or 4 cigars. I think the first one I said was Opus. This is in the top 3 or 4. The Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure, Hoyo de Monterrey Excalibur Epicure. So that's 2. I need to fill in 2 more. Don Carlos. I mean, I'm talking about the regular blind Don. I have some like 5-year-old Don Carlos number twos, which is Torpedo. I mean, they're smoking beautifully right now. Don Carlos and Rosario's, Eye of the Shark, Reserve, Personal Reserve. Um, I don't know. Arturo Fuente, Hemingway, Worker of Art Maduros, Davidoff. I have a couple of Davidoff anniversary torpedoes. Those are just great smokes. I mean, like the Black Label, Tatuaje Black Label. I reviewed that cigar a couple of reviews ago. That's definitely in my top 4. The Tatuaje Black Label Corona Gorda, or just Black Label in general, because I did smoke the Petite Corona or short Robusto or Petite Robusto. I mean, that's like maybe it's like a 4 by 50 cigar, 3.5 by 50. That that's a freaking awesome cigar. Any Black Label, you can't go wrong with a Black Label Tatuaje. It's a fantabulous cigar. I'm telling you, this is a very full-bodied cigar, kind of getting spicier by the second. Grassy notes are just in there. I mean, yeah, I love it, man. I mean, it makes me happy. This wine makes me happy. I like drinking wine. I mean, smoking a cigar with coffee too. Um, there's just there's a certain kind of like cooperation between like coffee and cigars. I mean, it's a classic combination. But I don't know. I mean, I think that I don't know. This is off on a different tangent now. I'm talking about like marijuana laws in states or whatever. How they're legalizing marijuana in like Colorado, Washington State, medical marijuana in California, Maryland. DC's already legalized marijuana. I mean, here's my theory, right? I mean, DC's legal now, right? So I think that all the world's leader, all the world's leaders should go to Washington D.C. in this gigantic ballroom, right? And everybody should have like, you know, like bongs and J's. I mean, I'm talking about world leaders, and they should have this gigantic buffet. I'm talking about like Muslims and Jews and like, like Americans and like Russians or whatever, and Cuban, obviously Cubans, and they should all go in there and cook some weed and kind of like get it out there, man. Just say what you want to say. Just get stoned and like kind of like let it all out and have a good buffet and you know chow down on good food and have libations and maybe cigars too and just cook it all out there, man. Just hash out your problems. You know what I mean? I can see that though, man. Everyone getting like baked or whatever, just getting baked, and like just kind of like we don't care anymore. We're like so stoned and like and have them all write it down. You know what I mean? And like make it official. You know, I think that's the perfect summit. That's the perfect political summit. You know what I mean? I mean, it's legal in DC anyway, so what the hell, dude? I wonder if Trump's getting stoned. I can see him doing some stonage. Medical marijuana is legal in Maryland now, and it's been decriminalized in Maryland, meaning like you can have up to 10 grams without having it be a criminal kind of activity or whatever. So we're moving in the right direction, man. Okay. I mean, you might not be pro weed, but I don't want to hurt your sensibilities or whatever. But if they make it legal, I mean, who really cares, you know? I mean, it blows my mind that in 2018 we have like 3 or 4 states that have legal marijuana. I mean, if someone told me that 2010 that in 2018 we have 3 or 4 states that have legal marijuana laws, I'd be like, dude, what are you smoking, man? I mean, that's unbelievable to me. You know what I mean? I don't know where that came from. I think you know what it is. This is my theory, right? I think all the people from like the 60s and 70s were smoking marijuana are all now adults, and now the leaders from that generation from the 60s and 70s are now in Congress and the Senate, and the leaders of the states or whatever. And they're like, dude, man, I remember smoking marijuana in the 60s and 70s. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You know what I mean? Let's make it legal. Yeah. I mean, these guys are remembering that they smoked marijuana in the 60s and 70s. Now they're old enough to make laws that make it legal, right? That's my theory, man. Hopefully the president's like that, man. Love to have marijuana legal all over the country, man. I'd be like, yeah, man, where's that dispensary? Get into that dispensary, man. I mean, like, this cigar is great. Well, we're getting to the last third here. Um, I mean, most of the time I smoke my cigars down to the nub, and that's one of the. I mean, like from the beginning of the review, I said like I wanted to smoke a shorter cigar for the review to not make it too long. Like I originally said, like I wanted to smoke a Romeo and Julieta Reserve Royale Churchill, but I chose the Hoyo Monterey Excalibur Epicure because it was shorter, make it fit into a shorter time frame. So into the second third, actually the last third, the body has kind of like gotten less, which is weird because usually it's stronger towards the end. But the flavor's right there, man. It's spot on. I'm getting leather now, a little bit of cedar, a little bit of grass, a little bit of tobacco flavor, a little bit of charcoal, and it's all working harmoniously. And like I said, this is one of my favorite cigars of all time. I mean, if the Lord God came down here and he said, "Can you give me a cigar that you want to give me?" I said, I mean, I have no problem. I have no hesitation to give him this Hoyo de Monterey Excalibur Epic. I have no hesitation because I mean this has a special place in my heart. Anyway, let me go ahead and take a pause here, and we'll go to the last segment, and hopefully wrap it up. Have this review in a reasonable amount of time. Anyway, God's blessing. All right, back again. Going into the last segment of this review. Obviously, it has to because there's like basically very little of the cigar to smoke anymore before it gets too hot to smoke. Just to summarize, this is the Hoyo de Monterey Excalibur Epicure from General. not the Cuban version. Um, I off camera smoking of it. The body is still very full. I'm getting a very good tobacco flavor, some grassy notes, some charcoal, which is nice because it kind of like brightens up like the richness of the tobacco and the grassiness. Been drinking some Penfolds Koonuga Hill, not 2014 Australian Shiraz wine. Very fruity, very spicy. If that's what you like, I recommend it highly. I mean, this is basically my favorite wine. I mean, I do love Pinots, Pinot Noirs. I love, what else do I love? What is it? Red Zinfandels. Not the pink. I mean, I do like the pink ones. I mean, but the connotation is you like pink Zinfandels, you're some kind of like girly man. But I'm not the pink Zinfandels. The red Zinfandels. The red Zinfandels are very delicious, very similar to Australian Shiraz. Pinot Noirs tend to be like lighter in body, but it's very delicious. But I love foreign country wine too, like Chianti and what's your Barolo. I think those are Spanish wines. Try to diversify my wine, um, collection or whatever. Not just to stay domestic. Try the wines of the world. Um, just a really good cigar. Body is full, medium full right now. It was fuller earlier in the cigar. Now it's medium full, which I kind of find weird because usually cigars get fuller in body and strength and flavor towards the end because the tobacco kind of gets more concentrated towards the end. But I'm finding that it's more medium full right now. Well, in contrast to the full, really full body that it was towards the middle end of the cigar. Just a wonderful, relaxing smoke. The Hoyo Monterey Excalibur Epicure. Um, we're coming towards the end here. There's definitely some spice. Tobacco. I'm getting tobacco now. Getting hot. It's hard to do reviews on camera and kind of appreciate the flavor of a cigar because you're so kind of like concentrating on trying to convey what you're tasting in front of the camera. So you can't really focus your attention to the actual cigar itself. So, I mean, actually, the cigar is a lot better than how I'm conveying it to you. Getting charcoal, some nicotine. Coming towards the end here, it's getting hot. That's too hot. Gotta put it down. Man, nicotine right now. I'm getting. I mean, some people don't like nicotine flavor. I love nicotine flavor. To me, it brightens the palate. Kind of wakes you up. Kind of like it's sort of like a pinprick. Um, you know. Let me ask you a question, right? I mean, I know this is just on a different tangent, right? But Thailand is known for like sexual kind of like escapades or whatever. I mean, when they named their city Bangkok. I mean, like, what's up with that? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Thailand, Bangkok. I mean, like, Bangkok. I mean, like, I don't know. Sorry, that was a non sequitur. I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about those things, but you know, maybe it's the wine. Yes, it's the wine that's making me go off on these tangents. Yes, don't blame me. Blame the wine. Please. Anyway, this has been the review of the Hoyo de Monterrey Excalibur Epicure, which is like a Honduran smoke from General Cigars. Um, Basically, it had a Connecticut like natural tobacco natural wrapper. It's a wonderful full-bodied smoke. I would summarize. I would say, medium full. At some points, very full, and then other points, medium full. Um, like I said, if you don't like grassy, then you might not like the cigar. So I don't want to say like things that mislead you, but definitely pick it up. Try it if you like it before you go out there and buy multiples of it. Um, if it's, I love it. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is my top 3 or 4 cigars ever. Anyway, it's Friday afternoon here in Baltimore. It's Friday in the afternoon somewhere. The weekend is here. A time to like kick back, relax, and kind of like enjoy life. I'm enjoying this wine. Is beautiful. Um, anyway, I wish you love, peace, happiness, and good fortune. I always end most of my cigar reviews. Good fortune, good health, good wealth, good friends, and family. And on that note, you all take care, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully. What do you do?